Manchester, England, May 6. Kevin De Bruyne of Manchester City runs with the ball during the Premier League match between Manchester City and Huddersfield Town at Etihad Stadium on May 6, 2018 in Manchester, England. Photo by Shaun Botterill, Getty Images. Pep Guardiola has used a plethora of players in pre-season, from youth in the International Champions Cup to an almost full-strength side in the Community Shield. With most or all of the World Cup stars rejuvenated and ready for the upcoming campaign, don't expect to see any surprises in the Catalans' first team of the new campaign. Manchester City have avoided any pre-season injuries, even Benjamin Mendy is fit, and look to have all available choices for a mouth-watering encounter with the Gunners. And with new signing Riyad Mahrez anticipating his debut, Guardiola is going to have to think about the number of attackers he utilizes. Raheem Sterling, Leroy Sane, Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero and Bernardo Silva can all stake their claim to be in the 11 on Sunday. However, Manchester City have to find some stability, as they did superbly last term. Here is how I think Guardiola will set his team up versus Arsenal. This lineup is in a 4-1-4-1 formation. Goalkeeper, Ederson. This is one of several no-brainers for Pep Guardiola. Ederson was as consistent as ever in his maiden season at Etihad Stadium, and after recent transfers of Kepa to Chelsea and Alisson to Liverpool for a combined £139 million, suddenly the £35 million City paid for the Brazilian looks a bargain. Hopefully the confident Ederson can continue in the same vein. His significance in the record-breaking season cannot be overlooked. Left fullback, Benjamin Mendy. Incredible. Benjamin Mendy managed to win the Premier League, Carabao Cup and World Cup last term without playing more than 4 matches. His role last term was more social media based, which, don't get me wrong, maintained Manchester City's joviality throughout the season. If he starts against Arsenal, it will be the first time Pep Guardiola can get a proper glimpse of the Frenchman in a competitive environment. Unfortunately for makeshift fullback Fabian Delph, his stint in the lineup looks to have come to an end. Right fullback, Kyle Walker. Another straightforward decision. Kyle Walker's pace and ability to thwart counter-attacks is key, especially against the free-flowing speed of Arsenal and, namely, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He was part of a centre-half trio in the World Cup, and can now readjust to his more habitual fullback position. Be sure to keep an eye on the former Tottenham man and Manchester City's forward movements, especially when he links up with midfielders and wingers. Centre-half, Nicolas Otamendi, Vincent Kompany and Aymeric Laporte both look set to miss out. Otamendi was excellent last term, and his progress under Guardiola has been astounding. From Man City Square, the Argentine might have had a World Cup to forget. However, he can turn his attention back to the Premier League in combating Arsenal's dangerous-looking attack. His role should be completely defensive, and perhaps he can allow John Stones to be the centre-half, able to roam forward from deep. Centre-half, John Stones, one of City's most impressive representatives at the World Cup. Expect to see John Stones' name in the lineup come Sunday. His ball-playing abilities alongside a stalwart nature mean Stones has the capability to spark counter-attacks, as well as completing his defensive duties effectively. As you can find here, Stones could prove one of City's most important players as the season wears on, and the games begin to come thick and fast. Next, midfielders and forwards. Page 2. London, England, August 5. Sergio Aguero of Manchester City celebrates scoring his side's first goal during the FA Community Shield between Manchester City and Chelsea at Wembley Stadium on August 5, 2018 in London, England. Photo by Michael Regan, Getty Images. Links to Marco Verratti, Thiago Alcantara and Jorginho meant Fernandinho's spot in the team was initially jeopardized. None of those transfers came through, however, meaning the Brazilian is likely to start in defensive midfield for much of the campaign. He is aging, and at 33 has only a couple of years left at the very top level. Hopefully he can keep the Manchester City engine ticking as well as we know he can for this season at least. Left midfield, Riyad Mahrez. This was certainly a difficult toss-up between Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez. But with the speed of Leroy Sane on the other flank, I think Pep Guardiola will hand Mahrez his debut. The Algerian only produced flashes in pre-season, however he has wreaked havoc against top clubs before, and Guardiola will keep in mind his title-winning experience and deploy him against Arsenal. Sterling, though, has been playing in the World Cup for much of the summer, and that could be something Guardiola considers. Whether Leroy Sane was chuckling quietly to himself as Germany crashed and burned in the World Cup, is something to ponder over. He should have been in the starting 11, let alone the squad, but that disappointment has evaporated and the Premier League is calling. Sane might not have had the game time his teammates have accumulated over the hiatus, however he looked fresh and vibrant on the American tour and should be eager to cause chaos for the Arsenal rearguard from the outset. Centre midfield, David Silva. Another easy choice for Pep Guardiola. David Silva and Spain might have suffered a premature exit from the World Cup, but the Spaniards' guile and mastery in creating attacks is still at its zenith. Silva, too, is aging and turned 32 this year. But as he is the surefire selection and has made this position his own. Centre midfield, Kevin De Bruyne. Fansided's Premier League Player of the Season last term will have to break an arm in order to stop him being in the starting 11 on Sunday. He wasn't as effective for Belgium in the World Cup, but is always magnificent for Manchester City. Expect no less on Sunday, though it might take him a few matches to get his incredible passing range sharp. Striker, Sergio Aguero. Despite Gabriel Jesus signing a new contract under a week ago, Aguero should be the man to lead the line for Manchester City in North London. He clocked up his 200th goal in a sky blue shirt in the Community Shield, and that performance alone was enough to suggest he is fully fit and ready to forge another impressive goal-scoring campaign. Next, 3 things we learned from pre-season. Do you think someone else will sneak into the team over this 11?